Hello everyone, and welcome to our 8th end of the year video to recap the legislative year both in Sacramento and in our district. In 2024, we hit the ground running by taking early action on the state budget in order to protect key funding for programs within our community. Thanks in part to this early action, the work of the state legislature over the last decade, and the use of funds from the state's Rainy Day Fund, we voted on a balanced budget of over $297 billion. The budget maintained as much funding as possible towards some of our priorities, including K-12 schools, childcare, healthcare, and housing. In March, I had the opportunity to host my 2024 Women of the Year event with over 100 community members in both Ventura and Santa Barbara counties. It was great to be able to celebrate 10 women who are leading the way as small business owners, women entrepreneurs, and supporting our communities in need. Speaking of uplifting phenomenal women, it was my honor to recognize Women's Economic Ventures as the 2024 Nonprofit of the Year. As chair of the Senate Select Committee on the Nonprofit Sector and the founding member of the nonprofit committees here in our state legislature, I'm proud to acknowledge the work of a notable nonprofit that supports women in business. As always, my work is greatly impacted by my interactions with constituents at more than 1,357 community events and meetings that the team and I attended over the course of the past year. As your state senator, one of my goals is to provide assistance with state agencies and keep you apprised of the legislative issues you find important. This year, my team and I tracked legislative issues such as environment, healthcare, housing, and provided direct updates on these issues to more than 1,582 constituents. I'm also happy to report that we resolved 314 constituent cases, ensuring our office is connecting you to resources in our state. I also sponsored 8 events across Santa Barbara and Ventura counties, connecting our community members with critical resources like our tax preparation workshops and our senior scam awareness seminars. In addition, we facilitated opportunities to give back and to support those in need through our blood drives and Paws and Coffee events, helping both people and our four-legged friends. I connected with over 100 esteemed leaders in our community at our first Tea con Limón en Vivo event in honor of Latino Heritage Month. Lastly, we presented 2,765 Senate certificates recognizing members and organizations in the community, including the 100-year anniversary of Old Spanish Days, a celebration of the history of Santa Barbara. In Sacramento, I authored legislation on issues impacting Californians across the state. Legislation tackling policies such as environment, healthcare, transportation, wildfire prevention, and more. Among my legislative successes this year, SB 1061 is one of them. This legislation removes medical debt from credit reporting, providing relief to millions of Californians burdened by medical debt. No Californian should struggle to obtain housing, a loan, or even a job because they accessed necessary medical care. With SB 1061, California joins 7 states across the nation, protecting consumers from the impacts of medical debt. Additionally, our governor signed my legislation, Senate Bill 1195, to expand access to high school AP testing. This legislation came directly from a high school student in our community looking to ensure that AP students have an opportunity to take their exams while the information is fresh in their minds. Lastly, as a mother, I know how important it is that what we give to our children is safe and non-toxic. Unfortunately, bisphenols, a harmful chemical known to cause asthma and cancer, have been found in teething and feeding toys and products. That changes January 1st of 2026, thanks to the signing of SB 1266, bisphenols, which can be ingested by toddlers and infants, will no longer be used in teething and feeding products for kids. I had 13 bills signed into law this year, and 85% of them received strong bipartisan support, including Senate Bill 1101, which seeks to expand the use of ecological burning and eliminate excess fire fuels. Senate Bill 442 that stands with sexual assault victims by closing a gap in sexual battery law, a bill sponsored by our Ventura County District Attorney. And Senate Bill 639 to ensure the healthcare workforce is equipped to provide dementia care to our most vulnerable population. Here is a list of all of our legislation passed during the 2024 legislative session. For more information on these bills, visit my website. In addition to legislation, the California State Legislature provided funding to critical projects throughout the Golden State. Projects like these critical investments in the Central Coast. I'm grateful that the state has invested in projects along our Central Coast that help our communities meet state goals, combat extreme heat, and protect our environment. As chair of the California Senate Democratic Caucus, I had the opportunity to serve on and lead a working group to establish the framework for Clean Water and Wildfire Bond. This historic bond proposal, passed by the voters in November, will provide California communities with resources to protect against wildfires, extreme heat, and secure access to safe drinking water during periods of drought. I have also had the opportunity to represent the Central Coast at multiple briefings at the White House. Coordination with our federal partners is critical, especially as we continue to experience the effects of climate change, including catastrophic wildfires and impacts from major storms. I am grateful for our continued partnership with the Biden administration and the funding assistance they have provided our small businesses and residents recovering from storms and wildfires. As your state senator, I want to thank you all, every student, advocate, community organization, and constituent who shared your thoughts with me and our office this year. As your state senator, I am honored to represent you at our Capitol. I look forward to working together in 2025. Thank you.